This is Eric Martin with BoardGameGeek. I'm here with designer Silvano Sorrentino. We are talking about Deckscape and Detective, two lines of games published by Giochi. And Silvano, you are the co-designer of these titles, along with Martino. I was hoping you could give an overview of what's involved with designing an escape room game. How does that even come about, the whole idea for the series, and what constraints you operate under? Because they all have a very particular format.
Yeah. Hi from Italy. Hi, Eric. How are you doing?
Hi.
I'm talking for both because Martino is in vacation, lucky him, so I will try to explain everything you need to know. So, actually, I have something I wanted to say in the end, but I'll start from that because you were asking. We have two series of games, Deckscape and Detective. And you may think that Deckscape come first and then Detective followed. But actually the prototype of Deckscape was a mystery game. It was called Mr. Y by Martino. He wrote this in 2016. And we tried that game that is similar to what Detective is now, but will not work very well. But we like the idea of having a one-shot game that you can play, and it contains some riddles to solve because it's the deduction game. And so we thought we might create another team that contains several puzzles. And since escape room were the best thing of the world at that time, we thought that we might go with creating what we thought it would be the first escape room card game. And of course, at the time, other publisher had the same idea. So while we were working on Deckscape, both Cosmos with Exit and the Asmodee with Unlock started working on the same idea. We basically hit the marketing at the same time. But we were sure we could pull off an escape room game because I also work as a puzzle designer for several magazines here in Italy. So I've been doing this puzzle making job for almost 20 years. And so since I also love the escape rooms, I thought we will be able to create some escape room game. And one great thing we have with Escape is that since we have some, as to say, some free questions in our cards, meaning you don't always have a number that you have to input or a code wheel or something like that, but you can ask anything because the answer is on the back of the cards. We have a lot of liberty in what kind of puzzle we can put in the game. So the first one, test time, was a little more escape room oriented, something like the old video games with a little moon logic in some of the cards. But then we were able to create games that have more coherence between the game and the puzzles. And yes, I think we are doing a nice job now, according to reviews and comments.
That's right. You have many different translations of the games available from different companies.
Yes, a lot of them. I think we are reaching 1 million copies sold worldwide for the line of Deckscape games. I'm not sure if we have reached that yet, but we were like little short of that number some weeks ago.
Okay.
Meanwhile, you are spoiling a lot of the things I wanted to say later with the images, but okay, we will go with them one by one.
Okay.
So the Deckscape is a very simple game, meaning that each time you encounter a puzzle, you just have a question on the front of the card, and the answer is on the rear of the card. So you just talk with your friends and decide what the answer is, and check if the answer is correct on the rear. So you will never get stuck. And we wanted to create the best party experience with this game. It's probably the simplest one you can teach to the whole family.
Yeah, Derek, if you could be on the first image, that'd be ideal. It's very general. There you go. So two newest releases of the lines.
Yeah, so the success of Deckscape made us go on with the series of Detective, because actually Detective was meant to be one of the Deckscape games, but Martino had this great idea of creating the 3D crime scene you use in the game. You can see it. So you use some of the cards that are in the box to create the scene that you can examine while you play the game. And the scene will always change during the course of the game. So something will happen in this house, something will probably be stolen, or someone will die, or typical things that happen in a murder mystery. And you will have some clues on the cards, but also clues that you can find by examining the crime scene very thoroughly.
Okay. So it's amazing just how many different ways cards can be reused, and it's really just, how imaginative can you be and how you use them for any situation to create what you need as a designer.
Yes. Also, with the first game of each series, we start creating something a little more simple. So the first Detective is a little more simple than the other ones, because we wanted people to get acquainted to the course of the game. But this is the one that is going to hit the market really soon. The Gaze of the Coast. This is the Italian edition, Lo Sguardo dello Spettro. And here, I don't know if you have played the first Detective, Eric.
I have not yet, no.
Okay, but the first one contains a 3D crime scene that changes during the game. And this one is a scene that will change a lot during the game. And you are looking at the third game of the series on your screen right now, Nightmare in the Mirror. And this one, if you go to the next image, will have another way to use the cards. This is a very bad prototype for me on the on the left, but something more resembling the final image on the right. And in this case, you are detectives, and you are trying to picture the crime scene from some photos that you get on the phone. So in this time, the crime scene represents what you have in your head. You see there is a wall here with something, so you imagine the wall like this. You have a picture of something in front of you, etc. And in the end, we'll get the whole room you can see from all points of view, and this will help in finding the kidnapped girl. This is the story of this one.
Right. So interesting. So will you have choices of what to put into the crime scene? You have to interpret clues to recreate the crime scene from different materials are given?
Like in Deckscape, in Detective, the cards are in order. So as you play to the game, you will have cards that you can use as clues. So for each card, you can decide to archive the card, or use the number of archived cards to buy one card and put it on the table, so you can show this information to everyone. And since the cards are in order, at some points we'll have some cards that say, hey, this is a plot twist, something happens. And maybe the crime scene will change, or we'll say something else. So for example, this is one card, if you can see it. It's Italian, so you don't get much spoilers. And this will say how much it costs to play. This costs 5 cards to play. And you will always have to decide if you want to play something, or if you want to archive something, to play something else that will probably give you more information. And there are 7 plastic clips in the bag, and you will use the clips in the end to point and the answers on the card. So you will never have to write anything. The game is not destroyed, so it's a one shot, but it's fully replayable if you give it to someone else.
Okay.
So
Right.
I'm doing most of the talking. Sorry, because we started a little late. But I wanted to show you the next pictures because we have some news regarding the upcoming games. This will be the next Deckscape game. It's Deckscape Q vs Q Pirate Island, and this is a first, I guess, meaning it's not a cooperative escape room card game, but it's competitive. You will have two teams, the blue team and the red team. This is two crews of pirates that will compete to get the most gold coins in the end. So the two teams will play puzzles at the same time. And if you show the next picture, you will see that there are different ways to do this. Waiting for the picture. Next picture, please. Thank you. So in some cases like this, the two teams will have, each one will have its own cards. So one plays with the blue cards and one plays with the red cards. And in some cases, there will be the same puzzle, and the team that solves the puzzle first will check the solution and will win coins if it's right. Otherwise, it will give the coins to the other team. But it's not only just this, because it will be trivial. So if you show the next picture, we have a little spoiler of something that will happen during the game. There will also be some mini games like this one that contains a lot of treasures that you find on the island. And in this case, you will play a mini game with both teams at the same time. There are several mini games during the game. So not only who solves the puzzle first, but also some competing mini game at some point, with always the goal to win the most pirates coin in the end. And something really unexpected will happen in the end, I hope. The players will love it. And if you show the next picture, I think we have another news. After this one, the Escape Q vs Q, we are working on one horror Deckscape game. So classic horror with classic monsters like Dracula, the Wolfman, etc. The final title and art is not ready yet, but the game is ready. We are creating the final art for this, and this will come next year. And in this case, you will have a little Monster Hunter book in the box, and you will use it to hunt the different monsters you will find in the castle during the Halloween night in Transylvania, just to put all the cliches we wanted to create a fun horror game, because this is always a family game, so something you can play with the kids too.
Right. So it's definitely taking the escape room concept and applying it many different ways, because it's not just escaping a room, it's whatever situation you can create.
Yes, we always put something that is an actual escape room in each game. So a moment where you need to escape from something or from a monster or something like that, because we like the idea of trying to get out as quickly as possible. But as we introduce more theme and more story in the game, at some points it actually becomes also something else, like an adventure more than an escape room, depending on the theme. Also, all the boxes are very different. Each time we try to put something new, like the characters in the Venice the Escape, or the book here, or in the Escape from Alcatraz game that just went out. There are some prisoners in Alcatraz with you, and you can decide to help them or not. And if you don't help them, you don't solve those puzzles, but you leave the poor guys at their fate. So you must decide if you want to spend time trying to help them or not.
Okay. Interesting. So again, it's replayable with some knowledge. So I guess you could go down different paths in this case. Or is it unlike the other?
Maybe you can try playing again with other friends maybe, and play like the part of the master and join them in some of the puzzles you haven't played yet. But being an escape room, it's usually one shot anyway.
Okay. All right. And we've got another minute. I don't know if there's something else you wanted to mention.
Yes, we have another image because we are planning something to do next week for the Gen Con that might interest people who loves escape rooms. And we are planning an escape room seminar for escape room authors. So someone who wants to start creating its own escape room for fun, for the family, or even to become a rich and famous escape room author, like not me yet.
So, that's right. I guess that'd be Martino since he's on vacation.
Yes, Martino, we will come with the sunburns and help me doing this with the rest of the Giochi.
Okay. Excellent. Well, thank you very much, Silvano, for an overview of this series. It's very interesting to see just the variety of what you can create within this format. It's very interesting. And there's other titles you do as well, not only Deckscape. You do others too. I don't know if you want to mention what else is coming.
Yes, I'm working on more games, even without Martino at some point. We are working on a cinema-based party game called Movie Night. I think you have seen it in Nuremberg last year, but COVID, so everything has been shifted for months later. Right now, so we are focusing on the main games, so the Deckscape and Detective series, and other games are in the pipeline and will come next year.
Okay. Final question: what would be the channel for watching this on YouTube? Watching the escape room seminar.
If it's not in the image, I don't know because they are still organizing this, but I will send you an email so you can put it in the BGG news.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Sounds very good.
Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Ciao,
Silvano. Glad we got to talk for a few minutes. And yes, ideally we will get to escape from things in real life soon instead of just our house. So
yeah, let's hope. Oh, and these are games you can play solo too. So until the world becomes normal again, you can also play this with yourself or with your family. It's 1 to 6 players.
All right. Thank you very much for your time.